Hi, welcome to Caswell's Kappa, the channel where you learn how to work on your vehicle step by step. In today's video, we're going to learn how to replace the wheel hub in a Chevrolet Cobalt. The vehicle we're specifically working on today is a 2007 Chevrolet Cobalt LS with a 2.2 liter engine. This procedure can also apply to the 2005 to 2010 Chevrolet Cobalts. A quick tip here, if you have a different submodel, let's say you have a 2.0 with the turbo, you're going to notice that you have a 5-point lug, but the vehicle in question we're working on today is a 4-point lug. This is due to the base models having the 4-point lug because it cuts costs, and the higher ones, of course, they need an extra one because it has more performance. So if you have a different lug count, don't worry about it. Procedure is the exact same. If you have a different drivetrain, like most of the Cobalts I've seen, they're front-wheel drive. If you happen to have a rear-wheel drive, if that's the thing, I don't know if it is, so don't quote me on that. This procedure won't work for you, and you'll have to find another video. But other than that, I'll provide you with everything you need, including an info sheet and a description. Now, let's go see how it's done. So our hub is going to be located within the drum here. In order to remove it, obviously you got to take the vehicle off and everything. It'll lift the vehicle, but with my wheel already being off, I'm not going to put it back on. As you can see, my lugs are pretty stripped, so that wheel is not going on. But I'm still going to provide you with the step-by-step instructions on how to take off your hubcap, take the wheel off, lift the vehicle, and all that, just so that you can get to this place where I'm at right now. So let's get into that. When it comes to lifting the vehicle in the rear, I like using the A-frame back here. It's in the shape of an A, and it's got little holes in it, upside down V, whatever you want to call it. That's what I use. Otherwise, I'd use the lower control arm, but since I'm working in this area where the suspension is concerned, I'm not going to be using that, so I would be using the A-frame. Whenever it comes to lifting the vehicle, it's always best, especially if your vehicle is front-wheel drive like mine is and your rear is free-flowing, it's best to loosen the lug nuts first before lifting the vehicle. So now that we know how to lift it, let's break these first and then we'll lift the vehicle. When it comes to removing your tire, you're going to have a hub cap. Unlike me, I actually have an aftermarket tire, as you can see there. It doesn't require a hub cap. It's much easier. I'd recommend you doing that if you can. But if you have the hub cap, take off your lug caps first and then break your lug nuts. Don't loosen them off all the way, just break them, loosen them. Don't literally break them like I did, but loosen them and break them. The hubcap, I don't know what the millimeter size is for that, so you'll have to figure it out. The actual lug nuts are going to be 19 millimeters, and you can use that however you want. But that's how you're going to do that. Break them, then you can lift the vehicle and then remove the tire, and then you'll be where we're at here. Now that we're at this point in time, the next thing we need to do is we need to remove the drum cover. The only way to do that is to beat the living piss out of it. I like to use the dead blow hammer, give it a nice few hits. And it might need more hits than that. Oh, got it. Hold on. Watch out for that brake dust. Try not to breathe that in. And there is our drum. Or at least cover. Now we have view of everything. Wow, that's dirty. But anyways, that's off. And as you can see, here's the back plate of our hub. And now we got to go to the back, remove some bolts, and get this guy off. Now, as we can see, these brakes are really, really bad. They haven't been maintained in Lord knows how long. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some brake clean so that we can see what the crap we're doing in here, because the place we need to be in is right in here, but you can't really see that, can you? So this is where the hub is going to be connected to the back plate and where the studs are going to be going through the back plate and into the hub. Usually you like to spray some penetrating oil in there, that way, because it's going to be super rusted. That way the hub can help become free. I'm not doing that today. I'm just going to be cleaning it up and then beating the piss out of it, which you're going to have to do that regardless, so I don't see a point in the penetrating oil at the moment. But we're going to spray some brake clean, get all this clean, and then we're going to take care of the studs in the back. Coming to the back of the drum and avoiding this mess, we're going to come back here, and as you can see, we have 2 of the studs right here, and then underneath those, deeper inside, we can see, if I'll zoom in, there's a stud right here, and then there's a stud right there. All 4 of these need to be removed. Now, obviously, the spring's in the way, so you're going to need an extension. Not only that, you're going to need a freaking swivel socket or swivel extension, whatever you want to call that. You're going to need a swivel in order to get in it because of the weird angles in the spring. If you're lucky, the spring might be turned a certain way to where you can actually go straight in there. The big problem is the ones down way in here. That's your biggest problem. I can reach these fine, but I can't reach those. So that's where that's going to become handy. Hopefully it doesn't break with the impact, but we'll see. But let's get those studs off. And this is a 15 millimeter, by the way. All right, we're going to try to get these sockets off. I kind of loosened this one. I was trying to feel out the swivel sockets because they're a pain in the rear to deal with. All right, so there's one. All right. There's the second top one. Let's get these bottom ones off now. Let me show y'all something here. See the springs over there? This is what I'm talking about. Look at the clearance you have there for both sets. And I got no freaking room for this bull crap. You better pray that your spring is turned around the right way. Mine's not. This is help. Alright, so since we're having such issues, I actually got a helper, and I have a small crowbar, and we put it on this last rung right here, and it's up against the plate in the back, or at least the lower control arm frame, and they're going to push up on it, and it's off of the jack stand, and it's solely on the jack, so be careful, but they're going to lift up on the spring. Go ahead, and as you can see, it's going to give you plenty of room and access to those bottom studs if they're in the way, which I can get right to it. So there's one, wherever that nut went. And make sure if the backing plate does start to move, have your holder help it so that it doesn't fall, because you do have brake lines connected to that. All right, there's the last stud. Try to grab the nut if you can, don't lose that. My other one's sitting inside the lower control arm. And we're gonna go to the front, make sure the backing plate won't fall off, and the hub should just come out. If not, we'll have to beat it out. Now that we have the nuts out of the studs, sometimes the nuts will come with the studs. Preferably, you want those nuts to come off with the, by themselves, not with the studs, so that when you put your new hubs on, you ain't gotta worry about trying to get them off later. So now we're going to, as you can see, the backing plate's pretty loose. Make sure that it stays on there and that it doesn't come off. As you can see, our hub is also loose, which is, thank God for that one, after all the trouble with the nuts. So we're going to take our hub, and if it did not come off, if it's still stuck on there, you're going to get your dead blow hammer, some kind of hammer. You're going to beat the side without hitting your brake right here. If you hit your brake pads, that's not good. You want to try to only hit the hub itself. But now that that's off, hold the backing plate, make sure it don't come off. Try to slide out your studs, and there's a spring at the bottom too that's going to kind of make it hard to come off. So try to maneuver it around the spring if you can. Maybe push that spring down if possible. All right, there's that. As you can see, backing plate almost just came right off. So it is gonna kind of hang there. There's nothing holding this backing plate on at all, so be careful, don't just drop it. So it's like that. Our hub is out. We're good to go. Now when it comes to putting your hub in, as you can see, it's got a all-along shape. It's more of a trapezoid. The two small ends are going to be on the bottom. The two wide ends, they're going to be up top. Pick up your backing plate, slide in your studs to the holes, lower that spring. If not, it'll just be pushed out of the way. And then we can put that on. Now what you're going to want to do here, as you can see, we have the hub face. You're going to want to get some brake cleaner, some kind of cleaner. You're going to want to clean that off. There could be residue oil from the bearing because this is your wheel hub bearing as well. So make sure to get that nice and clean. You don't want any kind of residue or oil on there. Maybe on the front place it's okay because, you know, that's going to be in contact with your drum. It'll help it from rusting further. So that can be on you however you want to do that. But I'm going to grab my cleaner. I'm going to give it a good little clean down real quick. I'm out of brake fluid, or brake cleaner. Well, that sucks. Anyways, once that's clean, we're going to go back to the back. I'm going to have your partner help you if the spring's in the way. And we're going to tighten these nuts down. Preferably, it's best if you use red Loctite. I don't have that today, so I'm going to tighten it maybe 5 pounds extra, and hopefully that'll hold. All right, we're going to try to get these on here. Like I said, usually you do red Loctite, but I don't have that right now, so we're just going to tighten them up and get these snug, and then we'll torque them down. So we put it on there. I'm going to loosen it a little bit first, that way it's on the threads. So it drops. Okay, there's that one. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, you can let go of that now. All right, now the bottom two are in, we'll go with the top. You're good. All right, so to torque these down, usually you use red Loctite. We're not doing that this time. So I'm gonna do 5 pounds extra. So usually it's 35 foot-pounds of torque. I'm gonna do 40. Let's get this back a little bit. Okay, so that's 40. I'm gonna go an extra 30 degrees. And that's that on that. Next one. Okay. Extra 30 degrees. Okay. Okay. Degrees. All right, that's it. All right, now the hub is nice and on there. What we're going to do now is I'm going to take some steel wool, some DW40. I'm going to go along the line of the backing plate. This is where the face of the drum front plate meets, and I want that to be pretty clean. I'm also going to do the same thing on the drum face itself. I'm going to do it along the rim, and then I'm going to do it where the hub meets the drum plate. That way everything's nice and smooth. And then I'm going to leave just a tiny layer of DW40 on there. That way it doesn't rust, or it'll at least prevent rust. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Y'all can do that if you like. If not, move on to the next step. All right, once all of the preparation has been done, make sure there's no DW40 or any other kind of cleaner besides brake clean that's been put on the pads or the inside of the drum along the edge where the brake is going to be braking. And then we're going to take our drum pad that's been prepped. I'm going to slide it on there. Make sure that you don't have too much resistance. You want it to be nice and free flowing, but you do want a little bit of resistance. This is a good time to adjust your brakes. We're not doing this right now. This is more of an emergency type thing, so we're just getting this done so that we can get this going. But this should be fine for now. So that's going to be like that. And now we can get our wheel and we can get it going. Alright, so we were unsuccessful with getting the studs out of the lugs, so we're just going to order some new studs, or not studs, lugs, and be done with it. So, can't really show you how to put the tire on, but just put the tire on. This drum plate, it is going to be loose, but it is the wheel and the lug nuts themselves that hold it on. Put the wheel on, put your lugs on, get them nice and snug, lower the vehicle, and then you'll torque them to 100 foot-pounds of torque. You're going to want to do it kind of in an X pattern. Go over it a couple times just to make sure they're nice and seated, and then you can go on your way. Other than that, you have completed this procedure. Good job. Thank y'all so much for checking out the video. I hope that helped y'all out and that you learned something new. I'm going to refer y'all to my website, caswellskappa.wixsite.com. There are more procedures on my website for y'all to use, whether it be spark plugs or oil changes, that sort of thing. They're there and they're available for you to use. That's all I have for y'all today, and I'll see y'all next time. Till then.